Hey guys, shadowrckts here with another episode of Diary of a Mediocre Gamer. I still haven't come up with another name, but it is going to be a self-help video. I got Josh in here with me today, and I wanted to finish talking about the thing that you said at the very end of the last one, which was trying not to fall in love with the object of love, but the person. I feel like that's a really, really strong ending statement, so why not start on it?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So, what were you trying to get at there?
For the most part, I kind of recollect there. Falling in love with the object of love is something that many people do, and I think that's why we have such a high rate of divorce, which is like 50% of marriages are going to end in divorce, so
yeah.
That's pretty darn high in my book. But actually getting to the meat of the topic, I think more people are just like infatuated with like what they've seen on TV, what they've seen in books, what they've been told what love is, and I feel like people are more on the chase to find that Hallmark card style of love, more so to say than actual what they actually need.
That Disney Pixar version.
And I think people spend the longest time trying to find that idealized image of love, or what is supposed to be love, what they've been indoctrinated to believe in, more so than actually taking the time to actually find out who that person is that they're sharing a relationship with, actually finding out who themselves are to begin with. So I mean, once you actually keep on doing with that, I feel like it kind of like just sucks the energy out of what you have, and I feel like you're not actually working towards what you need to in a relationship. So you're spending all this time, wasting time, more so to say, trying to work towards this relationship when you're actually looking for the wrong thing, which is the idealized image of love in our society.
Yeah, I mean, definitely searching for it isn't going to help you find it usually, most of the time. What I've found to work this one specific time that it did work was really just I feel like I say this way too much in these videos, but be yourself.
That's very true.
Like, you'll find somebody that will fit that place in your life, fill that void. And don't be afraid to date a friend. Like, that just completely irks me when people don't date their friend. It's like, why? Like, you obviously get along and enjoy each other's company. Like, that's right there, that's grounds to be a perfect relationship in my book.
It's very true. I mean, for most friends, I feel like I don't know exactly what's holding you back in that regard, but I feel like once again harks on that notion of looking for what you want out of the relationship, not what you're told to look for. And I feel like if that's just superficiality, I mean, that could be the definition of it. But I feel like, why waste your time, now the person's time, by just trying to like get by with something that's not going to fulfill you or the other person? And I feel like actually like making excuses for someone else's behavior, your own behavior in a relationship, just to actually find that realized image of love is just not going to work out in the long run. So definitely realize what you do want out of it, and if you can, understand what the other person wants out of it too. And if you can't come to an agreement on what you both want, then obviously that's not what's going to work.
So. Oh, honestly, yeah. I mean, if you're constantly, like, oh, well, maybe this person does this thing that kind of peeves me off, then
it's true.
Chances are you're not going to be happy long term.
And that, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, those small things build.
They do, and that's another thing, harking back to what we talked about before, is communication. You can't stress it enough. Just if you have something that you need to say, get it out there, put it on the table, communicate, because you don't want to harbor that and it coming up in a fight or resentment in the long run. And
honestly, if you bring it up, then and maybe the other party doesn't agree with you, then you could cut it off then before it gets too painful later, and then you could still be friends even.
That's very true.
Honestly, it's a very mature thing to do, is to talk about how you're feeling, and we don't, as a whole society, I feel like we don't.
We try to ignore our feelings, and then again, that's going back to the whole indoctrination of our society. We're told not to kind of delve into those kind of feelings per se, and we're just kind of going towards something that's not really meaningful, which is a shame, because I feel like we'd have a much less of a divorce rate if we actually followed true to those things.
Oh, definitely. It's way too high. It affects the kids and us, but
that's coming in the future too.
Yeah, that's a different story.
That is.
But I think that this is a good ending point for this conversation. So, don't forget to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Shadow Rockets out.